We are at the beginning of a brand new year, which means really any time we could be hearing news about the new cover athlete for MLB The Show 25. So in this video, I want to go over a few things, including when we might get the cover athlete reveal, and I want to go over 5 realistic options for who this year's cover athlete could be. So last year on MLB The Show's main Twitter account, they sent out an announcement on January 25th that we were getting the MLB The Show 24 cover athlete reveal on January 30th. So we got this reveal last week of January last year, and this is pretty standard for when they announce the cover athlete each year. So definitely starting now, keep an eye out on MLB The Show news, and I think for sure by the end of January, we will know when this announcement is coming, and I think there's a good chance we will know the cover athlete by the end of January as well. Now, before I go over my list of 5 players who could be the cover athlete, I want to mention a couple things that could be very helpful for us when we're thinking of options for who could be the cover athlete. Based on the last couple cover athletes, as we know, Vlad Jr. last year and the year before, Jazz, the cover athlete could definitely be someone we are just not thinking of, since both of these picks at the time were surprises to many people, but it's also interesting if we look back at the last 4 cover athletes, which for MLB The Show 21 was Fernando Tatis, 22 was Shohei Ohtani, 23, like we said, was Jazz, and then last year, 24, we know Vlad Jr. And all of these players are, from the last 4 years, are really considered to be, young, exciting, up-and-coming stars. Obviously, Ohtani was in the league for a few years before he got on the cover, but I think he still fits the mold of a very exciting, flashy player with that two-way ability that he has. And I think a lot of people, especially the casual fans, were still learning about him and finally, at that time, recognizing him to be a very special player. And I think all of this is really important to keep in mind for the MLB 25 cover athlete, because we don't always see the best few players in the league get on the cover each and every year, so there's always other factors that play a role. Now I want to go over my list of 5 players I could see being on the cover of MLB The Show 25, and I'm going to go in order starting with least likely to then most likely, in my opinion. So starting off with number 5, and least likely of the 5, in my opinion, is Skeens. Paul Skeens right here, and I say least likely just because I don't think there's ever been a pitcher on the cover of MLB The Show, so I don't think it's super likely, but I think if there's ever a chance that a pitcher ends up on the cover, I think Skeens is a great option. And who knows, they might change it up. You just never really know. Change it up and put a pitcher on the cover. We'll see. I think it's certainly possible, but just unlikely, in comparison to all the other options that I have down here. But number 4, I'm actually going to go Corbin Carroll. Last season, compared to 2 seasons ago, was slightly down for Carroll, but as I talked before, young, flashy, exciting player, obviously fits that mold of a cover athlete, but I think he also has an SDS connection too, because in a tweet this year from MLB The Show's main Twitter account, they put out a chance to win an autographed item from the current cover athlete, Vlad Jr., and also in that same tweet, there was an autographed item from Corbin Carroll as well. There was also another time where they tweeted out autographed Corbin Carroll items that people could win in, just a completely separate tweet. So this obviously doesn't guarantee him being the cover athlete, but I think this means either Corbin himself has connections to SDS, or at least someone associated with Corbin, like an agent or someone else connected with SDS in the past. So I think there's a chance that Corbin Carroll could be that cover athlete choice. We'll just have to see. Number 3, I have Juan Soto. So Soto is still young, and obviously he's going to go down as an all-time great, and I just think at some point, if he's going to get the cover of this game, right now makes a lot of sense. He was just in the headlines all year with the Yankees. Obviously, the Yankees also made the World Series, so everyone was seeing him then. Fantastic year, then signs the deal with the Mets, so he's kind of just all over the place within the league over the last year, and I just think if there's ever a time to do it, give it to him now. He deserves it. Great player, and just, everyone knows him. So recognition-wise, everyone's going to know Juan Soto, and that's, probably a good thing for selling copies of the game and whatnot. But then moving on to number 2, we have Bobby Witt. Over the last couple of years, Bobby Witt has really broken out, and last year turned himself into a legit MVP candidate and easily could be one of the faces of the league going forward. So just as a young superstar player, this could make a lot of sense for what SDS or what MLB The Show looks for in a cover athlete. I think it's very realistic that we see Bobby Witt in this spot, but he is not my number one choice, as you guys will see in a second. But coming in at number 2, Bobby Witt. And again, if he's the cover athlete, I'm not going to have, any problem with that. Coming in at number 1 on my list is Elly De La Cruz. Now, I know everyone is saying this, but I just think when we think about MLB The Show cover athletes, he perfectly fits the mold of what they're looking for, like we said throughout this video. Flashy, exciting, young, up-and-coming stars, fit that mold. And, like a Javi Baez, a Fernando Tatis, a Jazz Chisholm, all of those guys within the last 5 years have gotten to be the cover athlete, and I just think Elly fits that perfectly. If Elly is not the cover athlete, I would just guess it's because he doesn't really have a connection to SDS already. Like some of these other players have that connection already, so it just gives them a heads up over the rest of the competition like Elly. Not sure if he does or doesn't have that connection, but we'll see. But yeah, those are just my thoughts and opinions on the MLB The Show 25 cover athlete, who I think it might be. We'll see. Let me know down in the comments below who you guys think will be the cover athlete and what else you guys want to see in MLB The Show 25. And we'll have plenty more MLB 25 videos in the near future, so be on the lookout for those. But that'll be it for this one. I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around to the end and watching. See you guys next time. Peace.